Time changes everything. For better or worse, every day, every second, every moment, things change. Interests change. People change. And I've changed. Okay, so am I still a furry? Well, no. But actually, yes? But no. Maybe? Possibly? Yes, I'm still a furry, but maybe not in the way most would expect. While I still feel at home in the confines of the furry community, I've found it harder than ever in the last couple of years to connect with the community as a whole, almost as if there was a huge cultural shift in the last 4 to 5 years that few seem to notice, let alone talk about. The thing is, this shift isn't exclusive to the furry fandom, but rather represents how we're all connected as a whole. I've gotten kind of bored the last few years, and it feels like the fandom has sort of permeated nearly every aspect of my life in some way, shape, or form. The fandom is mainstream as all hell. Seriously, just go to any Spencer's. And while I'm happy the community has reached new heights over the last decade, it kind of feels like a second nature thing now. When I put on my fursuit, I don't feel that same sense of euphoria or excitement I once had. It's still fun, don't get me wrong, especially with friends, but in general, I just feel like I'm wearing it to get content out more than anything else. And I made this channel to help and inspire others, not to make lines go up. If I wanted to do that, I could just put out something right now that capitalizes on the fandom's most controversial trends, but I'd get absolutely nothing out of it. More so, I doubt my supporters would even care for such a thing. Y'all are distinguished. Insert meme here.
Hey, can I have your fursuit?
I swear to God, the next person who asks me this!
For all intents and purposes, this channel and Stormi as a whole have kind of fulfilled their purpose. There is no other fandom fundamentals that really need discussion that other channels haven't already covered. In some cases, we're just oversaturated. We need something new, fresh, that goes beyond How to Furry 101 or those top 10 Protogen USB 3.1 memes. Unless that's what people like, of course. And it's fine if they do. It's just not for me anymore. I don't want to say I've grown up, but it's hard to deny this analogy. I've changed. And I'm not just talking about the furry hijinks either. Everyone who's been following me since the beginning knows I have an undying love for all things Sonic and Tails. But even that has begun to fade. I haven't completely kicked it out of my life because few things hit like a speed run through Metal Harbor, but my attachment to the blue blur feels more nostalgic than anything else. Case in point, I was actually really put off by Sonic Frontiers. Despite its high praise, and even though I love the newest movie, I wasn't exactly clawing my way towards the midnight showing either. I was excited, but it's not all I could think about. Truth be told, I was actually a lot more hyped to see my friends more than anything else. You might think we're spending time together fursuiting, talking about cons, cross-examining our personas. Whoa bro, your ears are like floppier than mine. But really, it's more like we go to the mall, check out weird stores, go sightseeing, then finally sit down and watch some terrible 90s movies. Furry just doesn't dominate my life like it once did, and quite frankly, I'm finding myself a lot happier just absorbing new hobbies instead of researching what the newest furry convention is about. In a way, I actually find it sort of painful because my brain matter craves something new instead of the same material over and over again. It's like eating the same food every single day, but you're doing it to shut your stomach up. You don't actually enjoy that type of food anymore. I'm kind of starting to feel the same way about pizza. Yep, it's true. I'm just gonna make some rice now. I'm still learning how to make rice. If anyone has any tips, let me know, please. Thank you. It doesn't do the mind well to live a life of constant repetition. Sometimes we have to change things up, not just out of boredom, but necessity. I've had days where I had to stream and then I'd just have a breakdown because I didn't know what to say, what to do, or what to talk about, and it felt like Groundhog Day, over and over again. And it's important to keep our minds busy with new things, but not overwhelm it like a TikTok addiction. Enter neuroplasticity. Many scientists believe that learning new things is not only important for one's well-being, but for your cognitive health as well. And I want my brain to stay strong. What about you? I've dedicated so many years of my life to studying the furry fandom that it's almost become an anxiety trigger anytime I have to answer a question about it. I want to help others, but my brain is all, please, make it stop! It's like that. I think this is what happens when you let a hobby quite literally consume you. In all seriousness, it's important to keep our minds busy, but balanced with the flow of new hobbies and ideas. Just don't overwhelm it. In my case, I overwhelmed it with furryfandom.zip. And when a hobby consumes you, it can be hard to make new friends outside of those hobbies, and as I'm recently discovering, letting go. It goes against my programming to stream or make any content that isn't about the furry fandom, because that's what I've built this channel upon. But I will overcome it and eventually find my happy place again, just as I have on Twitch. Furry is still part of my life, but instead of hyping up my next furry convention, hoping to get another fursuit, or keeping up with the latest fandom happenings, it's more of how I present myself now. I like my persona, and they're a fun way to visually portray myself, and many furries probably feel the same way. Stormi today feels less like a persona and more like who I actually am as a person. So they either evolve or I make someone new. But going back to finding new hobbies, I revisited old ones like spending the last few months building a new computer, visiting friends out of state, and renovating my workspace.
Stormi the Homemaker.
I was originally slated to have a vid out weeks ago, but it turns out a 750 watt power supply just isn't enough for video editing. But anyway, what do y'all think? This is the prettiest computer I have ever built, and I tried to at least sort of theme it after my persona's color palette, and it is an absolute beast. As nice as this all is, it's become something of a necessity if I'm to make future content in 3D spaces.
Insert clip of you in a 3D space.
Wait, you built this? Yep. And it really wasn't that hard minus all the scratches, swearing, hardware errors, mounting the AIO, BIOS errors, getting the fans to work, RAM errors. Okay, yeah, this was the hardest computer I've ever built in my life. Maybe someday I'll talk about the time I broke 7 computers and nearly got banned from the school's computer lab. But even more exciting than building this shiny thing was just seeing my friends. Y'all, I spend a lot of time on my lonesome, trapped in this drywall prison. The local furry community just barely exists anymore, and with my partner working almost every day non-stop, I'll do almost anything to get out and see the world. Someone should really do a study on 30 furries and gray muzzles. Future vid, perhaps? But anytime someone comes over, I'm all like, oh my god, please keep talking, tell me everything you did today. What did you eat for lunch? What are you doing this weekend? What did you do today? How many eggs are in your fridge?
You don't want to be like this.
Whew. Settle down, Folf. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm so desperate to get out and just do new things. I'm not abandoning this channel, but I needed time to recalibrate and realign myself as a person. I may have changed, but I'm so proud of how my content has kind of left a legacy on the community. I still get replies on videos from 6 years ago. Even though I feel outpaced by other furry YouTubers today, at least my content is still leaving an impression. But yeah, let's talk about that. Furry YouTubers. If I move on to story-based content rather than continue to cover furry topics, does that still make me a furry YouTuber? What makes a furry YouTuber a furry YouTuber anyway? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know some people will get bored expecting a constant diet of furry matter from yours truly, but in my opinion, being happy is far more important than those pesky numbers, and I think most would agree, especially if you made it this far in the video. And if you did, like this video, subscribe Leone, maybe tap that join button, and perhaps join my Patreon for perks like early access to vids, deleted scenes, my Discord server, and more. But yeah, thank y'all so much for all the support over the years, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye!